Hi guys, Scott Whitwood with you, and to talk about the big game on Friday night, the Melbourne Storm versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. We're talking about 4th versus 2nd here. The Melbourne Storm on 29 points and the Rabbitohs are on 34 at the moment. Both teams look certain to play in the top 4, and at this stage, providing everything goes to script, the Rabbitohs should finish 2nd and the Melbourne Storm should finish 3rd, which means that probably the Roosters will play the Melbourne Storm first up and the Rabbitohs will play Manly. Once again, all going to script. And talking about the script says that the Melbourne Storm should be winning this game. They've certainly won 10 out of 10 games against the Rabbitohs. Every time the Rabbitohs have played down here, they basically haven't got sighted. And not only have they beaten them, but they've beaten them by a big margin. And if we combined the for and against on the two teams in those 10 games, we're talking about an average score of 36 points to 7. That's a massive blowout, and that's what the Storm tend to do when they get in front. They tend to keep on playing out the 80 minutes, and they're very, very good at focusing for 80 minutes. And they're very good, obviously, going down in Melbourne. Overall, in fact, these two teams have played 21 times, and the Storm have won 18 times. So you'd have to think that the Rabbitohs will be struggling to win this game, minus Greg Inglis and minus Greg Sutton. But having said that, Greg Inglis, if he doesn't play, Nathan Merritt will come in and play fullback. And while he's a Rabbitoh, he's certainly no bunny, and he does know how to play fullback, and he will go okay. The big surprise here could be young Luke Keary, who comes in and plays number 6 in place of John Sutton, which is a massive pair of boots to fill. Sutton has been enormous this year for South Sydney, a wonderful fall for the halfback Reynolds. But let me say, there's a lot of people who know Luke Keary very well, and I've had more than one person tell me that they think that Luke Keary could be an even better player than John Sutton. Completely different type of player. Sutton is a big, tall guy who can play in the forwards and does play in the forwards sometimes, where Keary is only a small guy. But Keary has got enormous speed off the mark. He's got a good side step, a good swerve, and I think he's got a better tactical kicking game than John Sutton. And if you combine that on the left side of the field, and then you're going to put Reynolds on the right side of the field, who has also got a wonderful tactical kicking game, it means that this is going to be a very, very competitive tactical kicking game. When you talk about the Melbourne Storm, have got Cooper Cronk and Cameron Smith, so kicking is going to be crucial in this game. And when we saw these two teams met early in the year in round 8, and the Melbourne Storm were too good for South Sydney, beating them 17 points to 10. That was largely because Cooper Cronk's tactical kicking game was absolutely spot on, and he was the reason why they got home. He kicked Reynolds on that day, and it'll probably come down to that again. It's probably fair to say that the Rabbitohs will have an advantage in the forwards, and it's probably fair to say that the Storm have got an advantage in the back line here. It's a little bit like New South Wales versus Queensland, if you like. And if we're going to have the same result, it'll be a Melbourne Storm win here. I just want to say this about Luke Keary. I don't know what instructions the coach has given him. When most promising young guys come in, particularly when they come into a spine position like a 6 or a 7 like Keary is, most coaches just tell them to find their feet and play a link role, and quite often that they're overshadowed by the dominant guy that is there, and he steps up and he takes the orders. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Reynolds steps up and he plays Sutton's role as well as his own role, and Luke Keary is just going to be the runner and be the link man and get the ball and pass it out to the centres. I hope that's not going to be the case. Of course, Keary is a star in his own right, and I'd hate him to be just a link man. I would like to see him calling the shots and see him being just as dominant on the left side as what Reynolds is going to be on the right side. I think if they do that, I think that South Sydney have got a shot, particularly at the prices. I think they're probably, I think the market has undervalued them at the moment based on the fact that Storm had a record win against the Raiders last week and they're playing back at home. Don't get me wrong, the Storm should be winning this game, but I do think South Sydney will be very competitive. It's still an outstanding team, and they're coming off an embarrassing loss last week against the Cowboys, but that was they're on the road there for 2 weeks, and that's not an easy thing to do. And there's a lot of talent in the Cowboys team, and in fact, we selected the Cowboys to win that game because we thought they had a lot in their favour, and they were terrific value. It was a big win for us. But so it wasn't no surprise to see South Sydney get beat last week. Look, I think they'll be hard pressed to get home this week, and I think they'll be hard pressed to get home next week. But then again, after that, I think they'll start their run. I think they've got a pretty good draw after that, and I think they can go right through to the finals and almost be undefeated. So don't jump off them just yet. I think this is going to be a wonderful game. I'm concerned about the defence on both sides of the field in the centres for the Rabbitohs. It's been a big problem for them last year, and it started off, they fixed it earlier when they had both champion, but he went and got injured. He's not due back till about round 26. I think the coach has done quite a good job compromising, but I still have got a concern over some of the guys that are playing there. They've shown me in the past that when the ball is swung out very quickly, they either come in too early or they stay out too late. And they just don't handle the fence very well, and they're not good under the bombs. Some of those guys I'm talking about, Dylan Farrell has already been dropped because of that. He's got another reprieve. Waqa is only a teenager, got a wonderful future, but he's extremely inexperienced playing against the likes of some of these guys at the Storm. And of course, on the other side, we've got Luke Goodwin and Matt King. Matt King was a massive problem in defence last year. And he's only just back from injury. I like what I've seen so far, and I think his experience and the way he will talk to that young back line will be very valuable. But he's not a winger. He's not a guy that's going to run the length of the field and get you try, as wingers should do. But there's a role for him in the team, and I'm okay with him being there. But certainly the centres is going to be a big problem area for them, and that's an area where they need to get right if they're going to be successful in the finals. The centres is also a problem, particularly on the left side for the Storm. Most of the tries that the Storm have let in this season have come down that side, and once again, it's a problem again. The coach is very well aware of that. He did a wonderful job riding it to an extent last week. They did let in a try to the Raiders on that side last week, but after that, he looked absolutely rock solid, and so maybe he's got it right. I can certainly say. Fonua looked sensational. He was brilliant under 3 bombs, and he looked absolutely rock solid and got 3 tries. So they've done a great job with him. We're talking about arguably the best coach in the NRL versus one of the up-and-coming great coaches in the NRL in this game. So both teams are very well coached, and they've been smart enough to recognise it. They've had a problem and they've worked on it, and they've tried to fix it. I'm going to be interested to see if Coach Maguire for the Rabbitohs what instructions he's given Keary. I'm going to be interested to see if he allows Keary to play his normal game and gives him permission to scream out and give orders, or he's going to use him as a link man and let Reynolds call the shots. I'm hoping that both guys share the responsibility. And I think if they do that, and some of the big forwards for the Rabbitohs, including the 3 Burgess brothers, can do their thing, I think this is going to be one hell of a game, and I think we're going to get a very good pointer to the finals. I think both teams can go a long way into the finals. We have probably 4 likely winners for the NRL this year. These 2 teams that are playing are the 2 teams, in my opinion, that play at 80 minutes better than the other 2 teams in the competition. I don't think the Roosters and Manly play a strong 80 minutes. They give dumb penalties away, and they allow the opposition to get back into the game. I think these 2 teams play the 80 minutes out better than any other 2 teams, and I'm going to be interested to see the tactics in this game. Certainly South Sydney have already got a ready-made excuse if they get beat in this game. They're playing away, and they've got 2 of their best players out. The Storm are playing at home in front of their new owners. It's the first time the new owners have witnessed a top 4 team down in Melbourne, and so we know that the Storm will want to impress them. So they've got no excuse here. The Storm are virtually full strength. They're playing at home, and they should win. If they don't win, they will certainly drift out big time in the premiership this year. But we'll expect them to go home. I certainly don't want to be on them at the odds they are. I think they're rock bottom. I think everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, and it's hard not to. They're almost unbeatable down there. But I don't want to take those odds against such a good team as the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I just want to sit back and enjoy it. It's going to be rugby league at its best. I hope you enjoy the game, and I hope your team goes very well. Talk to you soon. Cheers.